go down to the grave, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me. I will trust you, Lord. Even when the storms are raging, I will love you, Lord.
Hey guys, welcome back, Bushcraft family, with another video. And prepping your soul. Yes, I said Bushcraft family, but this is on another channel. Through life, we have those moments to where we just don't feel, up to snuff, I guess you would say. We don't have nothing to offer the world or people or anything like that. Everybody's felt this way at some point in their life, be it when you were young or whatever, or maybe right now. Maybe some of you guys are right now going through something and you just don't feel 100%. I'll put it that way. You feel like you have no impact to the world. You're just a waste of space or something like that. With that being said, I want to kind of read a story here, and this is in the Bible. It's John chapter 6. Jesus feeds 5,000. Now, there's a story in this. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Okay, sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on the mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw the crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" We all know Jesus already knew the answer and everything to this, but yeah, he asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than a half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" Now remember this. Remember the boy. Okay. Jesus says, have the people sit down. There was plenty of grass in place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and disputed. He handed them out to those who was seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all they had to eat, or enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over, let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. Okay, now there's so much in just this little story here, but I want to take a part of this, just a part of this, and you're going to have to use some imagination to this. But verse 8 says, another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish." Now think about this. This little boy has come to listen to Jesus. Surely he's heard the stories of the signs of him healing the blind and making people walk again and things like that. Now stop and think about this. Where did this little boy get all this food? I bet his mother packed his lunch for him. It's a thing that's been going on through beginning of time. Mothers make sure their kids have something to eat, be it a journey to go to town, whatever. She made sure that she had this lunch made for him. And it could have been just small loaves, or you know how their bread was back then. It wasn't like a loaf of bread that we slice up and everything. So you sit there and think about it. She might have been thinking the same thing that day, that her life has no meaning. She doesn't have anything to show for her life or anything. But what happened if she decided, just not to pack a lunch for her son that day? All those people wouldn't have witnessed what they witnessed. All those people wouldn't have ate that day. There's so much meaning behind this story, and you got to look at beyond the story too. So if you're thinking, things I do don't matter, things I've done have no meaning, I have no meaning in life, you don't know that. God made you. God made you to do things. He gave you these gifts. You might not think they amount to anything, but every little thing that you do is a gift. You may not know it. You may never know it. But your gifts that you have could feed thousands. You don't know. And to think you don't matter, how everybody matters. Even the bad people out there that do harm to others, they matter in their own way. So next time you're sitting down thinking you're real depressed or anything, know that God made you. He made you. He made the gifts that you have. And when you say you don't have any gifts, oh, imagine how that makes God feel, that He gave you these gifts and you talk ill of those gifts. Makes you wonder. Just a little thing like packing a lunch. Just imagine little things like that. So anytime you're feeling down, just think about that. You're special because God made you, and He made you with gifts. With that, I'm going to leave you. God bless.